Just a quick word from our sponsor before we get started with the podcast today. This podcast is sponsored by Brandhoot, a Rochester company developing websites and apps that move people forward with a blended approach of strategy, design, and engineering. Learn more about them at brandhoot.com. That's BRANDHOOT.com. I'm Amanda Leitner, and welcome to Rochester Rising, where we amplify the stories of Rochester entrepreneurs. So welcome to episode 117 of the podcast today. So today we're checking in with 1 Million Cups Rochester. 1 Million Cups is an educational event that takes place across the United States. So every time I look up how many 1 Million Cups communities there are every month, it grows. So 1 Million Cups actually occurs in 183 different communities across the United States. It's an educational event, and at this event, 2 different entrepreneurs get up in front of the community of other entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial support organizations, and other interested members of the community, and they tell their story. And they specifically ask for help on one item related to their business. So 1 Million Cups Rochester takes place on the first Wednesday of every month here in Rochester. It takes place at 9 a.m. in the Blue Duck Kitchen event space. Or if you can't make it there in person, we actually live stream every 1 Million Cup event on our Facebook page. So you can find that on Facebook at our page under the handle Rochester Rising. So the next 1 Million Cups Rochester will take place on March 6th. So today we're going to listen in to the pitch part or the storytelling part from the February 1 Million Cups Rochester. And due to weather, there was only one startup that was able to make it to the event. So we've had some terrible weather this winter, as I'm sure most of you are aware who are listening here in Minnesota. Today as well, schools are canceled. It's been a terrible winter, so I don't know about you, but I am ready for it to be over, and it just makes the summer so much better. So anyway, there was one presenter at this 1 Million Cups Rochester, Brian Kugel from GoAdvntr. Brian is the CEO and founder of GoAdvntr, and this is a Winona-based business. And GoAdvntr is a platform for interested people to book guided adventures or find outdoor equipment to rent right in their community. So Brian actually learned about 1 Million Cups Rochester through the E1 Collaborative. So E1 is a volunteer-led organization that helps to connect and leverage expertise and resources across southern Minnesota. So it's a great new initiative. GoAdvntr was founded in 2016. Right now, they are ready for launch. They have 12 host organizations providing booking adventures or outdoor equipment to rent on their platform. And they have 2 committed investors and are looking for 1 more to launch their product soon. All right, so let's listen in to Brian with GoAdvntr.
Wow, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate that. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. So, as he said, I'm Brian from GoAdvntr, the CEO and founder. Thanks for coming out and hearing a little bit about my platform. So I'm going to tell you about how we're building a platform where you can book online, or you can book guided adventures and rent outdoor equipment here in your local area. So we think that you should be able to find access to guides that'll take you out on adventures, or you should be able to find outdoor equipment that you want to rent easily. We think that you shouldn't have to feel like you have to travel to have a really awesome experience, because a lot of us don't travel. But there's a lot of awesome things right here in Rochester and right in Winona where I'm at. So we want to bring those adventures to you guys. And we think there's a lot of entrepreneurs that really want to do that too. They have a passion for getting outdoors, and they want to share that and make some money doing it as well. But we ran into a couple of problems. We realized that those entrepreneurs, they have a hard time finding their target market. How do you find them? Probably on Facebook, right? But beyond that, how do you find them? They have a hard time managing bookings. Facebook doesn't do that. And so it's tough to do. And then payment processing. That's challenging. And so those are 3 problems that the hosts have. The guests, where do you go on and find these things? You might find them on Facebook, but beyond that, it's tough to find. These, maybe local websites or something like that. So how do we unlock that adventure for everybody? The answer is GoAdvntr, an online marketplace where those hosts can come on there. These entrepreneurs can start an adventure business, offering their services, and we have a one-page listing that shows everything you need to know about the adventure that's offered, gives you some really cool things that you can choose from, and manages the booking and the payment processing. Guests, of course, you can hop on there, you can find it, kind of look through it, get to know the host some more, and then get on there and book it. So our business model, this is very standard for marketplaces. We don't charge any sort of fee until an adventure is booked and completed. So we want to support that small business because paying monthly fees without making any money. So the guest pays just a small platform fee on top of that to help support the technology, and we take the 20% commission, and the host earns 80%. So our site we've built on, of course, modern technology, on the cloud. It's mobile ready, it's really mobile first. It's going to look like an app on your phone. It has to be beautiful. We know that 65% or better of our users are only going to be on mobile, but it'll also look great on tablet, and of course you'll have an HD experience on the desktop. So what makes us stand out, what makes us different? Well, there's a couple of things. So there's add-ons. When there's, say, 5 hiking hosts, how do I choose? You'll be able to have add-ons. So a host can stand out by saying, hey, you know what? At the end of the trailhead, we're going to do a 30-minute yoga experience. Or I'll take you off trail and take you here. Or, you know what? I make these really awesome, power bars or something like that. And so you'll be able to stand out and make yourself stand out and be able to choose something that's unique to you. Or if you're renting equipment, say maybe an ice fish house that's out on a lake, and you know what? You have all the gear, but you want the house. You don't have to pay for all of the gear that comes with the house. You can just rent the house. Or if, you know what, I have none of the gear, as add-ons, you can say, hey, you know what, I need this, this, and that. So you can just show up and have that experience. We're also building social features into it, kind of like Instagram. You can like and follow hosts and adventures. It's an easy way for you as a guest to kind of keep your adventures that you're interested in. Also is kind of a little bit of a deal flow for the host, kind of give them feedback saying, hey, people are liking my adventure. That hopefully means that they're in the top of my sales funnel and keeps them engaged in the platform. And then we're launching this here in southern Minnesota, but we're actually launching nationally. We have 5 states right now that we're launching in. But we really want to focus on the small towns because all of the other companies out there are, they're travel companies. They're like, hey, we're in the big destinations. I'm not in the big destination. You're not serving me. And unless you guys are traveling, you're not either. So I want to serve you here at your home. Go-to-market plan. We've got 12 hosts signed up right now. We haven't been pounding the pavement too hard because we want to get to launch, and then we'll go nuts after that. But like I said, they're across 5 states already. Of course, we'll hit up Instagram and social media. Adventures are exciting. They're beautiful. They translate, reach our audience there. And we're also going to feature our hosts, and that'll create some content for those hosts to be able to share on their social media, on their network. So that way they're kind of helping market themselves, and they're helping us market our platform as well. It'll be kind of exciting for those hosts to be able to like, hey, look, I'm featured on GoAdvntr, come check this out. And so we'll be able to feature them, we'll have a blog, whatever it is, to really help them grow their businesses. And then, of course, we started building relationships. So I've got to give a really big shout out to the Southern Minnesota E1 Collaborative. That network's really been phenomenal. I think I see a couple of faces in the room I think I'm meeting with later on today, and that's all thanks to Jamie and that whole collaborative. That's really great. And then Better Use Social Wellness app. It launched in Winona. A student at Winona State actually started it. He graduated, moved up to the cities, and he's relaunching the platform there. It's a really neat platform. He really believes in us. We believe in him, and I think it's going to be a good collaboration. So I've got a team of 6, and I've put together kind of leadership on the top, sales and marketing, and then our developers on the bottom. Sean and Nick actually work here in Rochester at some of the biggest places in town, probably from somewhere where you guys are from. But everybody really comes to the team with a lot of experience. So it's really exciting to have a whole entire team to do this. And so milestones so far, we incorporated as a Delaware C Corp in February, but we came together in 2016. That's when we really started working on this. Our platform's built, our MVP's ready, we're ready for launch. We've got 12 hosts in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, and New Mexico. And we've got two investors committed right now. We're looking for one more to finish out our friends and family round. It's a small round, but it's going to give us enough to really launch with enough traction to afford the technology and the marketing to get it out there. So I know 1 Million Cups is all about how can the community help me, and I really appreciate that. So here's how you can help me. If you're an investor, if you know angel investors, if you think they would like to invest in this space, help me connect with them so I can finish out that round. We're really looking to probably launch money, so we're really ready. And if you know those outdoor guides, if you know somebody who already does guiding, throw them at me. Or if you would like to start an adventure business or just want to bounce the ideas around, connect with me. I'd like to find something unique. You know what? One of our first hosts is actually a juggler out of Chicago because he wants to teach people how to juggle. He already does that, but he needs a platform to really share that with other people. He's a really awesome person, and it's really neat to see that this platform is not just for hiking, it's for any kind of adventure, any kind of experience that you want to share with somebody else. So, of course, the classic, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. And I encourage you to really go out to our website. It's just a splash page right now, but please sign up with your email. That way you'll start getting some emails from us to really tell you a lot more about the platform, kind of how we operate, and more about our vision, so you can learn more about it. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to you guys. What do you have for questions?
So thanks again to Brian for sharing his story at 1 Million Cups Rochester. If you want to watch the full video of this, again, we live stream the event. You can find that at Facebook on our page under the handle Rochester Rising. So in this video or in this podcast today, we only shared their storytelling part, but there also was a more extensive question and answer session. So you can find that again on our Facebook page, or if you can make it, come to the next 1 Million Cups Rochester. So the next event again will take place on Wednesday, March 6th, 9 a.m. in the Blue Duck Kitchen event space, or you can watch it on our Facebook page live, and you can actually even ask questions to the presenters via our Facebook page, and we will relay that information. So who is presenting at the next 1 Million Cups Rochester? So up next in March, we have Guardian Athletics. So Guardian Athletics is a sports tech company, and they are operating in the brain injury space. So join us on March 6th for that startup. So you can always find more information about 1 Million Cups on their main website at 1millioncups.com/Rochester. That's 1 is in the number, millioncups.com/Rochester. Or you can also find information on their Facebook page under the handle at 1MC Rochester. So I had one final piece to talk about before we wrap up today. So this March is the 41st anniversary of Women's History Month. So Women's History Month, I think we're all aware of that it exists, but it's a celebration of female contributions to history and society. Women's History Month is also historically associated with a theme. So this year's theme is Visionary Women, Champions of Peace and Nonviolence. So to celebrate this month and to showcase visionary women who are making lasting contributions to our community, we're continuing with our Strong Women Creating Value series that we began on Rochester Rising last year. So this year we're asking for nominations for these series. So if you know a visionary woman in Rochester who has identified a real need in the community and launched a business or nonprofit or has created an initiative to bring about this needed change in the city, please nominate them to be showcased in this series. So you can do that by sending a name to us at rochesterrising@gmail.com. Again, that's rochesterrising@gmail.com. So send us their name, their email, and a description of what value they're creating in the community. Again, to rochesterrising@gmail.com. Or you can head to our website and check out the story that we put out yesterday that has a form that you can use to submit your nomination. And we're looking for these nominations to be submitted by the end of the day on Friday, so we can contact them and get interviews scheduled to launch the series in March. So also, we're looking for sponsors for this series. So if this is something your business would be interested in supporting, if you're interested in amplifying the stories of female entrepreneurs in Rochester or want to reach this population in our city, think about sponsoring this series. So again, this is a little bit of a quick turnaround because we want to get this out the first week of March. But if this is something your business would be interested in, send us an email at rochesterrising@gmail.com for pricing inquiries. Again, that's rochesterrising@gmail.com. All right, that's a wrap for the podcast today. If you enjoyed this podcast, rate us on iTunes so that others can find us. And we will see you here again next week with a brand new episode.